Thank you for joining us. In this podcast series, my wife Lacey and I are working our way through the Freedom Booklet, a resource that helps you resolve and live free of offense, loss, and sin. You can find this resource at our website, cultivaterelationships.com/resources. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to Shoot the Breeze, a podcast that celebrates the messiness of life, relationships, and Christianity. It's creatively titled because it will be just us shooting the breeze, sometimes with guests, while occasionally saying something important. We hope you enjoy. We are on section 4, and this it's God-given needs and desires, and I want to lay the foundation of we are designed with needs and desires, right? I mean, really basically, we need air, we need food, we need beverages. These are needs and even desires, God-given desire for sex, for these things that we're designed with. So having needs and desires is not bad. It is how do we fulfill those needs and desires, or have those God-given needs and desires been met or insufficiently met or even pushed down, repressed, whatever. So a great example of this is we are designed to feel loved, to feel cared for, and to feel safe. These are part of our design. These are part of our nature. And when they are not met, what happens is, or maybe growing up, we were taught that we couldn't have needs and desires, or maybe we were taught all of our needs and desires are evil and sinful. It's just not true. And so it's recognizing this is the space where we're pouring out to God. Here's how I feel. This is the need that I met, or that went unmet, or maybe insufficiently met. So a couple of verses here. The first one, people, trust God all the time. Tell him all your problems because God is our protection. Psalm 62. Psalm 142, I cry out to the Lord, and I pray to the Lord for mercy. I pour out my problems to him. I tell him my troubles. So it doesn't matter if you're walking this through as an offense that you need to forgive, or as a loss that you need to resolve and release, or maybe it's a sin that you've been struggling with, that need for forgiveness, that need for mercy that we're designed with when we fail, when we make a mistake, when we sin. And so it's just being able to affirm you were designed, you were born, you were created with needs and desires. And are you willing to acknowledge that? I know for me growing up, again, having a genetic disease, I grew up in the hospital. I was very familiar that I have needs and desires. Lacey grew up in a family where it was a lot more self-sufficiency, a lot more, what would you say, like producing oriented or performance oriented. Yeah. And so you grew up in an atmosphere where you couldn't have needs and desires. You just had to perform. You just had to do. So like in this section, has it, like for me, it was really easy. Like, have you noticed it's been difficult with affirming? Oh yeah.
I think I was thinking about an example of I had a friend who years ago she adopted her daughter from an orphanage out of the country, and when she brought her home, she realized that her daughter didn't cry. She was just a baby. I want to say she was like 6-7 months old, and she noticed that she would have physical issues like ailments, and there was no way to even for this child to even indicate to her mother that there was something wrong, because she had learned through neglect that her needs weren't met. Mm-hmm. And so we hear a story like that, we think to ourselves, that's terrible. Like, crying that is a communication that the Lord gave to babies to say, hey, I need something. I need my needs met right now, right? And so when that is turned off, it's unnatural. And it actually creates this domino effect in a baby that's developing. And I think we can look at a baby and we can say, absolutely, that baby has needs and we're supposed to meet them. That is the way God designed it. And I think that gets harder as we become adults because we're more self-sufficient and we feel like, well, I can just take care of that myself, or I shouldn't have that need. And I think that what you were saying of God creating us and designing us with needs for love, care, safety, being able to give ourselves that space to think, hey, is there something in my life that is a need? And I need to recognize that that's okay that I have that need. And I want to acknowledge to you, Lord, please meet that need. Show me how to meet that need in a way that is God honoring and in a way that is inviting you into it. And so I think entering this section from my perspective is more of being okay with the fact that I have needs. Weakness is something I have a hard time with. And because I'm an adult, I'm self-sufficient. I should be able to do it myself. But being able to acknowledge, wow, Lord, it's okay that I have this need, that I'm not an island. And that you created me as a person that has the desire and the need for other people, right? It's not just a desire. We're created for relationship, and so, but that an unhealthy way to, as an example, is an unhealthy way to fulfill that need would be codependency.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's God-given needs and there's ungodly ways that we can fulfill them.
Well, and even independency, right? Kind of what you were talking about, where nope, I'm independent, I'm an adult, I'm responsible, I can do this, I can provide.
I don't need anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
And so whether it's the family you grew up in, or maybe it's false or wrong teachings within Christianity, like you're saying with the baby. I've heard in Christianity that a baby is born to be selfish and they're self-seeking. No, they're born needing, dependent upon a parent. That's not selfishness. That's what a baby is designed to do. And so it's, these false views of who we are as people, as humans, our nature, our design can inhibit our ability to go, no, I do have needs. I do need this thing, and so anyways, this is what step 4 is about. It's being willing to go, Holy Spirit, what did you design me with? What needs have I been created with that have gone unmet in my life? Now,
because of this event.
Exactly.
Loss.
We're putting it in perspective or focus of this specific need or this specific offense, loss, or sin. And so being willing to do that. So the first step is ask the Holy Spirit to clarify how you feel about this person or this event. And again, like I said, we're kind of revisiting some things that maybe we've already looked at, but it's providing opportunity for the Holy Spirit to be thorough. So some of these questions may seem repetitive, but all we're trying to do is be thorough in what God is trying to reveal and really what we're needing to resolve. And so asking him to clarify how I feel about the person. So if it's an offense, if it's a loss or your own sin issues, it's going, okay, how do I feel about this event? How do I feel about the loss of a child? How do I feel about the divorce? How do I feel about having a disease, having cancer? How do I feel about fill in the blank? What is the thing you're trying to resolve? How do I feel about my own sin? This thing that I did, how do I feel about it? And then asking the next step, asking the Holy Spirit to clarify, what are you disappointed at? What are you upset about? What about this offense, this loss or sin, are you frustrated by? Being real and open and honest and vulnerable. And then the next one, what do you wish would have happened or not happened? It's really going before God going, I wish this didn't happen. I wish that my parents didn't get a divorce. I wish that my mom was present. I wish that my dad wasn't abusive. I wish that I wasn't born with a disease. I wish that we could have our own biological children. I wish, like, what is that need that really is in your heart that went unmet? Or what do you wish didn't happen? I wish this person didn't do this to me. I wish they didn't steal this money from me. I wish that they didn't.
The car accident wouldn't have happened. Whatever the thing is, what's really there, and that you're the kind of the unmet desires there. Mm-hmm. And then the last part of this is what are your current needs? So you kind of went through all the disappointment and the unmet needs, and now you're like, okay, now looking at this square in the face, what can you do, Lord? How can you redeem this? What is that you could possibly bring out of this, the ashes of this thing? What do I want you to do? And you start dreaming with God a little bit. You know what I really wish, Lord? I wish that I could reconcile with this person and have a good relationship. Or you might not wish that at all. I wish that I could be able to just move forward with my life and be stable and not think about this anymore. What are your wishes as you're looking at this circumstance in your life?
I had a girl fill out in this last part. I had a girl fill out, you know what? I wish to never see this person again. I wish to not have a relationship with them. I wish that they would get out of my life. Like, it was honest, right?
Right.
And being able to write this down. Write down, what do you wish would happen? And again, I wish that they would run off the road. Whatever it is, like, pour out your heart. It's in there. Get it out. And this really is, like, this whole resource is about going from what's in here and getting it out in the open. God is not surprised at what you're going to write down. I think we might be.
Yeah.
What? That was in there?
And I think that we have there's this misnomer that if we don't bring it out, that it's not there. So what we're asking you to do, a lot of times we get accused of, well, you just want us to bring all this junk out to look at it. Well, we want you to bring it out to look at it so you're honest with it and you can get rid of it. Because that's what the Lord offers us. He offers us redemption and healing. But if we're refusing to acknowledge that it's there, that we can never get that, right? And so we are not here just going, we just want you to feel pain. We want you to acknowledge the pain so you can get rid of it. Because if you refuse to acknowledge that you have pain, you'll keep carrying it.
Yeah, it is the using the doctor analogy. Hey, we got to take an x-ray. Hey, we got to get that PET scan. Hey, we got to look at this stuff. And if you're like, nope, because if I do that scan, if I do that test, if I do that x-ray, then something will be wrong. And it's like, no, something already is wrong.
Right.
We're trying to uncover it so that we can resolve it, not so that we can continue to cover it up. So, pour out your heart. What is your God-given need and desire with this event? Next, we will be looking at something that might be really hard to do.